Hello and welcome, this is Ruth, and today I have another showcase die set from Tonic Studios. So it's this very big die set here, and it has 56 different dies in it, and it's called the Terrific Triple Towers die set, and it's a showcase, as I said, and there are 3 different things that you can make with it. So there's a Helter Skelter, a Lighthouse and a Windmill, and you could probably use a bit of imagination and make even more than that, but that's what is intended with this set. It looks really beautiful, and loads and loads of pieces in it there that you could probably use little bits and pieces of it for all sorts of things. There's a little flag, a little compass, weather vane, or a compass, sorry, and some little foliage pieces, and I'm quite sure that there's a little anchor and a wheel, a little door, and all of those could be used in different things as well along with this one. But I'm going to have a look at the instructions that I have. I think they're going to be in your pack, but obviously mine is a pre-launch sample, so I don't actually have them here. So I'll go and look them up, and I'll come right back and show you how to make this. So if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to do that and hit the notification bell if you would. I'd really appreciate that. And if you have time at the end of the video, I'd really love it if you'd leave me a little comment and give me a big thumbs up. So I'll see you just in a tick. I'm going to make the lighthouse first of all. So I have chosen some 300 GSM white card for construction, and first of all I have taken these 2 dies. So one makes the base and the next makes the smaller one, is the piece that sits on top of that. So you'll need to cut out 6 of each of those, and I think it's easier to decorate this before you assemble it all. So I have taken the little dies that cut out these red parts that you can see on here, and I have taped them both together and run them through the die cutting machine, and that's obviously then 6 of each of those, and the larger ones fit on here and the smaller ones then fit onto these smaller sides. Then I've cut out 1 base piece and 2 of these as well. So I'm just going to use the base one now and attach all of these pieces on. So I'll burnish all these little score lines, and then I can glue those right around the base, which I have right here. So those will all get glued right on there, and when I've got the bottom tabs all attached, then I'll bring them up and glue the side tabs together as well. When I've got all of those sides glued together, I can go ahead and glue all these little tabs together at the top. I've popped a few little pegs onto that just to hold it so that I can carry on then and work on these ones. So these are the 6 smaller sides, and this time it's easier to glue the long sides first of all, and whenever you have that done, then come back and glue the top and bottom tabs. That's these 2 pieces ready now, and I'm going on to these base pieces. So I have cut these out in white, but you might want to cut them out in grey or black or something as a little sort of rocky base for these to put on, but I wanted to keep this nice and bright, and I'll probably add some foliage, maybe even some other things onto the top of it. So what we do first of all is burnish all these little score lines, and they're all going to get folded in the way, and then we're going to glue one of these bases directly on top of the other, just like this. There we are, and that means then that you have each side has got some of these folded pieces coming out from it. And now I can go ahead, and this little tab here is the one that gets glued. Where are we? This little tab here is the one that gets glued directly in here, and you're going to work the whole way around doing that, and add a little piece of glue onto this and this, just to add them together the whole way around and keep them nice and secure. But the shape you're looking for is like this the whole way around. I've just put the smaller area over the bigger one at the bottom there and set this in, and I'm just going to wait until I see how this all pans out, and then I'll know which pieces to glue together, because I'm not sure which way I would like this one to open, so I'll hold on to that just for a moment or two. Now I've taken this little die. You can see all my dies are on my big magnetic stand there, so I'm not going to lose any of them. I've taken this one and I've cut it out 3 times in red, and I've burnished all those little score lines. And then if you look just on the die set there, you'll see inside that one there are 2 little window sections. So there's a plain, I'll take this off again, a plain one here, and I've cut that out in gold, and then I've used that one and that one together in black, and I have glued the black one over the gold one, and then put those on centrally onto the little 3 little panels that I have here. So now what I'm going to do is glue all these together and glue all those tabs and make the little gallery for the top of it. So this area here is just a guideline. Those are little debossed lines, but they're not fold lines. So if you just leave those and don't fold them, they're a guideline to show where to put the piece through on this next piece that you'll be using, which is called the gallery floor, and I've cut that out with this one. Now with all of that in place, then I've taken this little piece here that I showed you, and I have folded all these little tabs down in, and this is the little guideline where you've got to slip this down in until those little lines meet up with the edge of this little gallery. So it's just to keep that straight and level the whole way around there, and it's very easy to see it, and that's how it should look there. Now I'm going to just pop a little glue on here. I didn't want to put it on right at the start, because then it would have moved all over the place whenever it was coming down here. You'd have got glue down the side panels here, so I'm just gluing that up now one by one around the edge, and that keeps that all in place. Next you'll take this little die and cut that out 3 times, and then glue those together all in a row like that, and then attach the last one so you've got a little loop that will fit right round. And this is the little viewing gallery for the lighthouse. And then this fits directly over here. But I'll just open these out again. This fits directly over the top there, and then once you've got it over, you can bend these little tabs in below here and glue each one of them in here, and that holds that level the whole way around there as well. So I'll pop some glue just on the first one to hold it, and then work my way around. So on mine here then, I have put the red lid part which I would have called the lid of the box if you're going to open and close it that way, I have actually glued that on over the top of this white area here. And because this was all made of red, I have added a little band of black round here just to cover up those little tabs and make sure that that wasn't sort of red with the black tabs of this showing on top of it. And I think that turned out really, really well. Now you could actually, if you have a little look in there, you could actually pop a little piece of card in around here as a little stand-up piece, and then when the lid opened and closed or whatever, you could actually have a battery tea light inside there and leave these little windows open, and that would be really nice as well. But I'm going ahead with the closure in the centre there. It can be either way. It could be at the top here or in the centre, and I kind of like that fixed whenever I came to the end of it here. And then in this area I'm just going to glue this into the base, and that's that done. And obviously, as I said earlier, you could have that base a different colour. That's Nico snoring in the hall. Now I've used these little dies as well, and I have made some little windows with them, a little door as well, and I'm just going to glue those on. I didn't put those on at first while I was decorating this, because I just wanted to be sure that I was having everything in the right place, and then I could set those in afterwards. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue those in place now. I cut out the lovely little compass here, and I cut that out in the gold to match these windows and backed it onto the backing plate in black. And then I cut the little anchor out in black here as well. I haven't used the little wheel, but I'll use that on something else, I'm sure. Then I cut this out. I sort of thought it might look a bit like seaweed, so I've cut it out in rustic dusk, which has that kind of shiny feel to it. And I have got some stone drops here, which are crushed aloe, and I'm just going to add a little bit around the base of it here, and that's it. Now, I don't actually want this to look too tidy. I want this to look kind of like seaweed and whatnot, so just around here. And there we have it. So I've put lots and lots of that around the base, and it's the kind of gritty feel of it. I think works well with the base of that and the little bit of seaweed there. And this opens in the centre just like that and fits right over the top again. Well, I've gone ahead to make the Helter Skelter, and this time I made the top and bottom, and I have used 300 GSM white card again, but I had some Craft Perfect chili red card, and that's 216 GSM. So I didn't have the same weight for red and white, so what I've done is I've cut out the panels. Now I've cut out 3 of each this time, and I'm cutting this off on the bottom one here, right across the bottom and the top, but down the side as well, and I've left a tiny little sliver on each side of that score line just so that it fits nicely on there. And then on the top one here, I actually cut off the bottom part of this, so the part that had the fold on it of this one, and glued those together the whole way around there. So what I'm going to do now then is do exactly the same here, but leave the top lip on and attach those, glue those panels on there. I'm going to do that in a minute or two, but I want to go ahead with the little top part first. So I have used this little die, and I've cut that out 3 times, and that gives me these sections. And then there are a couple of ways of decorating that, but I like the look of this one, and I cut that out in some lovely blue card that is French blue if you're interested. And then I cut this little flag, so there are 2 flag pieces, 2 flag dies. The other one is somewhere on my desk here, and one goes one way and one goes the other. So I've cut 1 of each and backed them together. There it is there, and I have backed them together. I've also cut an extra one of white and popped it in the middle just to secure that. So I'm going to take this, maybe I'll not bother taking it back out because I think I've actually added glue onto it. So I've glue down there, but you don't add glue onto the bottom of the tab, and now I can go ahead and add the glue in there, and that just holds that nicely in place and keeps the little flag standing upright. So that will be just going in right there. Now what you want to do now is decorate the other pieces of this, and you'll only need to use the slit in the one of them, so it doesn't matter that it's going the opposite way in the other one, and glue that one on there, and then that one in there, and then we'll glue all of these pieces together. So I'm going to put glue on all of those tabs and bring them all down in together there. I'll glue this on first. Now I've taken this little die and I've cut that out 3 times as well, and I've burnished the score lines here and here, but this is just a guideline across the bottom, not a score line. So we'll attach all these together in the same way that we've done with the others. And now all we need to do is add glue onto these little tabs and then glue that up into here. And that's the little top ready. I've popped the little lid on top here and I've got everything ready here. I've made the base up, but I haven't glued this on yet, and I'm just going to wait until the end and then glue the little Helter Skelter onto this. But it was the same dies that I used before for the base for the Lighthouse, but the Lighthouse fitted down in here. You'll just cut this one out this time and glue it on top, and that makes a sort of a firm base for it. So we have the 2 slide guides here. That's these 2 dies, and they are all marked here with little debossing lines, which are the fold lines. And then we have 6 little slide elements, and these have got letters on them. So first of all, you can see the letters on the side there, and you can just about see it on there depending on what card you've used. And you'll need to just fold over and reinforce all those little score lines first of all. But I'm going to go ahead and glue these pieces on here. So we've got the top piece and then the bottom piece. Now we'll take the lid off and start with the top piece here. So I'm going to fold all these over just on those little score lines there, and then glue this on. So this part here gets attached this part here, the straight part, gets attached right up at the top there. So you'll just glue that on there, and then these parts just fold down the whole way around, and you'll be able to see where they arrive. And then if I can just get this right, one ends up here, and you'll see from there, actually it might be easier, I find it easier the last time I looked at this, just to start at the bottom, because you know exactly where that end has to be there. So a little glue on all of this and we'll get that one into place. And then you take the bottom one next and do exactly the same thing and fit it in just below this one here and right down to the bottom with that. I'm just going to glue this onto the base now because I think that's needed when I am about to add the sides of the Helter Skelter on here. Now bear in mind that this is decorative only and it's just for display, so the Helter Skelter pieces will only be at the front where you can see it. It doesn't go the whole way around, but there we have it on here, and now I'm going to start up here. So you can see where this piece goes across, and then we'll start F, D and E here, and then we'll go on these pieces as well. Oops, should have waited until the glue grabbed. So it's going to be from the bottom here, A, B and C, D, E and F. A, B, C, D, E, F. And I'm going to start up at the top. It seems to be easier to start up there, so we'll start with F. I have these laid out in order anyway, so. This little tab then gets glued onto the inside of this one, and again this piece onto here. This little narrow tab gets glued onto the little guide at the side, and that one you'll put glue on there. I glued that tiny little piece onto the bottom there, and that's just slightly different from the other ones because the bottom one has a little flat piece that gets attached onto the base there. And there you have a little Helter Skelter, and this is the lid, and the lid is detachable from the top this time, and there's the little lighthouse which comes apart in the middle. Okay then, I thought I would just try a little windmill as well. So I've made up the base and the second part in the top part, in the same way as I made up the sections for the lighthouse and the Helter Skelter, and this time I have used the little brick detail to go on the top. So this is craft card here, which is 280 GSM, and then I've used ginger pie with the little brick effect tile die cut on top of that, and exactly the same here. And the closure is going to be this way this time, so this one is going to fit right over the top there, the way the lighthouse one did. And I've made up the little base in the same way as the Helter Skelter one. I've set it on top of it, although I could actually set it down in the same way as the lighthouse. It doesn't really matter on that one. Now, you need to cut out 3 of these, 3 of these, and 2 of these to make the little top part. So I have those already here, and first of all I'm going to make the little blade hub. So that's with these two the 2 die cuts from this one. And what you want to do then is glue this one directly on top here, making sure that little circle is lined up, and then you'll glue all of those little pieces together the whole way around there. Next little section then is made with the 3 die cuts from this. It does actually say, I've just noticed in the instructions there, that you overlap the 2 die cuts. I take it that's a little misprint and it means the 3 die cuts, because these 3 would go on together here, and then that gives you the 6 sides. So what we're doing is overlapping all of this. I'm just going to lift that up to be sure that I get this straight first of all, and then we can tuck all those little bits in afterwards. So just get that all lined up like so, and then this one on top like that. And when all of that has grabbed, then you can put glue on all those little tabs and glue all of those together inside, and you'll get the little shape that you need to add the other pieces to. So, ready to go. Just put glue in there and there, all of these the whole way around. Now I've made a little top piece up in exactly the same way as I did for the other ones. I'm going to glue on these little tabs again to fit the very top piece onto that, and then you'll see here where we're going with that one. This little piece then gets glued on here. And you'll be able to put your finger and thumb through there and just attach each of those the whole way around there. Now I've cut out 4 arms for the 4 blades, sorry, is that what they're called? For the windmill, and I'm going to glue those together just like so, and then when I've done that I'll be able to put a little brad through the centre of that and pop that right through here, and then this will get attached by these 2 glue tabs onto here. I felt that even though those are 300 GSM card, that because there's so much taken out from the middle of them, they're a little bit unstable, so I've cut them out again, and I've just nipped these little pieces off, and I've turned this over, and I'm going to glue them on here just to strengthen those, and I think that's the best way to do it, and it'll look good from both sides then, and it will be a little bit more stable. That's the blades on there, and then I have decorated the bottom with a lot of these little dies that are on here. So I've got the little door and then these little flowers, and I've also added some buttermilk crystal drops, and these little windows here were actually the pieces that were taken out of one of the original pieces that I cut. I think it was, yeah, the top of the the top of the lighthouse there. In this little piece you can see where those came out, and I added them on there as well. And I've added some of these little apple flower, pure sheen, I've forgotten the name, confetti, yeah, that's it, confetti onto the bottom of that. And that's that one finished, and there it is, it opens there. I also added a couple of the little brick effect pieces up there, and that turned out really well too. That's the 3 of them all finished then. We've got the lighthouse and the Helter Skelter and the windmill, and that is an awful lot of things to make from one die set, I think. I think that's fantastic. And there's another little thing that I thought of there as well. I looked at this die. I had hoped to have time to make it, but actually I'm running out of time and I have so much to do. I'll give you the suggestion and maybe you could try it yourself. But I thought this die here, when I was making this one up, and you can see the little marks on the top on the point there, if this was done in sort of different colours obviously. You could add a long straight panel instead of these, just one folded round piece of card which would have 6 sides and a tab on it, and you could make this into a pencil. Can you see there? Pencil, that would be the lead, and then continue the sides down the same size as this for however long you want that pencil, and then just add a little flat piece onto the end and tuck it in, and that would be another little idea with it. There's obviously loads of different things you could do there as well, but that's an awful lot of things out of one die set, as I said, and I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. I hope you like these. If you do, let me know what you think, or what ideas you'd have had for doing it. I really do think a battery tea light in some of these, particularly the lighthouse up in the top there, or the lighthouse up in the top there, would be really, really beautiful, and even in this one as well. So leave me a little comment, tell me that, and let me know what you think of the video, and give it a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. My affiliate links to the die set and to the other products that I've used will be down below in the description. I get a little commission from that, but it doesn't cost you anything else, so I always appreciate everybody who uses those. And don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, to do that, to like and share and anything else to spread the word about the videos and the die sets. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye. Thank you.